soon so we can actually get into it, right? There we go. Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Ackle here, and of course, welcome back to each and one of you. Of course, if you're watching this over on YouTube, thank you so much. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, join us over on Twitch. It is far more fun live on Twitch. Believe you me, it's far more fun. It's better. It's just a million times better. I genuinely, words cannot describe how much better it is when you're watching this live versus when you're watching this over on YouTube. But I still appreciate the hell out of you, so thank you so much for that. Of course, we are getting ready for the cinematics. We have the Sylvanas cinematics that is going to be off the fucking wall later today. Hopefully later today. Hopefully not too late. I would prefer not to have to wait millions upon millions upon millions of hours, but who knows, right? Anything can happen at this point. It is Blizzard Entertainment after all. There's literally no other way around it. Mickey, how you doing? Jericho, how you doing, bro? Oh, you and me both, bro. You and me both. I am very much looking forward to this. Waldron, how you doing, brother? Thank you very much for the first time chat, Waldron. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for today's for today's stream, and of course for the new cinematics. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm a little bit afraid of what the cinematics might be showing us. Luda Drake, how you doing, brother? Midkoto, how you doing? Faldrud, how you doing? Big Ronnie, how you doing? How's everyone doing? How's your weekend been? How's your week been so far? Monday is, of course, after, behind us now. It is Tuesday. It's almost Wednesday, which means the week's almost over, to be fair. Morny, how you doing, bro? It's been a good 4th of July. Happy to hear that. Good morning, all you amazing people. Blazing Star, how you doing? I'm just tweeting out a bunch of stuff, making sure that everyone knows that we are live indeed. I am... Whew. I'm stressed. I'm gonna be honest. I am stressed. I do not know what this new cinematic is going to hold. I'm a little bit afraid that the new cinematic is going to pay lip service to all of the ones who hate Sylvanas. I think more importantly, my biggest fear is that the new cinematic highlights just the rush within Blizzard right now for 9.1. The fact that they can't really tell the story that they wanted to tell because, well, they're so far behind that's just simply not possible. That is very much my fear, right? 9.2, Ranger Lord, Sylvanas, and Bastion. I don't know. I don't think so. I do not think that Sylvanas is going to die. At least I hope not, right? Now, anything can happen. That is the huge problem with this entire thing. Anything can happen, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know exactly what Blizzard is planning. At least I don't know how Blizzard tells the story in World of Warcraft. We're still waiting. I've not seen anything on Wowhead yet. I'm literally still waiting. The data mine, as soon as the new patch goes live, the cinematic will be data mineable, right? Either that or Blizzard themselves will release the new cinematic over on their channel. So it really depends. But right now I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You have to wait till some raid kills it. Lodi, that's generally not how it works. We usually get it a lot sooner because that's just how it works, right? The thing is, the cinematic cannot be encrypted until such time that a raid guild finally kills it, because then that would mean that Blizzard would have to sit there and watch every single raid, right? And then as soon as someone gets close to killing it, then they decrypt the cinematic. Usually the way it works is that as soon as the patch goes live, that means that all of the encrypted information has now been decrypted, and it means that we can just find those cinematics. Although in the past, Blizzard used to just release those cinematics themselves, so they'll put them up on YouTube, right? And then we have it. Commander Raiden, how you doing? Vulpanex, how you doing? Romac, how you doing? Docs TV, how you doing? Lodi, that's how it's always worked. So every single patch, if it had an end cinematic at the raid, we usually saw the raid. We usually saw the cinematic before the first guild even went into the raid. Like 100%. How do you think we've been able to get all of the other cinematics 3 months ago already? Like the patch wasn't even live yet. Patch 9.1 wasn't even out yet. The way we got those cinematics is through data mining. It's through literally just going into the game files, looking for the cinematics, finding the cinematic, and then just downloading it, right? So it's how it's always been. This is not like the files in World of Warcraft. Once they're decrypted, they're open for everyone. Lord of Shadow, how are you doing? I don't know. I'm not on NA, so I genuinely don't know. Europe will only be live tomorrow, right? So I can't really tell you anything. The fact that there's so many, like, I've not seen any American go, oh my god, new patch is live. So, yeah. I'm trying to remember now which cinematic it was, but there's always been, yeah, I do have an NA char, but I haven't logged into that char in a while. Like, fuck. Also, I don't log into that char. It's still under maintenance at least, because I'm getting on my NA account, I'm getting, we will be performing scheduled maintenance beginning on Tuesday, July 6th, 8 a.m. PDT, and we expect the service to be available again at approximately 12 p.m. PDT. During this time, the game will be unavailable for play. So, what time is it now, PDT people? Hello, Bri, how you doing? $6 a.m. So maintenance starts in about 2 hours from now, and then it should all. That's a long fucking time, right? We're talking about 4 hours of maintenance to get the new patch live. Why is it taking so long? I mean, 9.1 was the big patch. The only difference was that the new raid and the new dungeon wasn't available yet. They were locked, so they weren't unlocked. The fact that this is taking so long, a 4-hour restart timer. Well, not even restart, maintenance timer. I think we're in for a wild ride. One of the reasons I think so isn't just because, so I'll show you guys what the fuck I'm looking at. The fact that we're sort of getting this long of a maintenance cycle, I wonder if Blizzard doesn't have more things. Nixty, how you doing? Wow, how you doing? I wonder if Blizzard isn't, like, this seems like a bigger patch than just the raid in the dungeon, which is already in the game files. It's just not unlocked yet. I think they're just being safe. Teal's down, I mean, just being safe for what, right? Unless, of course, there's a lot of bugs that they're sort of now fixing with the patch, and that's why the maintenance is taking so long. Just being safe, I mean, unless you're saying they might be up within 2 hours, so, you know, the patch is going to start on at 10 a.m., so they're just basically giving themselves 4 hours to do this. But even then, that makes no sense, because, so from a development side, the raid and the dungeon is already in the game, right? From a development side, they're already in the game. They're just locked. So as things stand right now, we can't actually go there. But it's not as if they're gone, right? John, how you doing? Chiliwok, considering that there's one hell of a maintenance cycle planned, one that I didn't even know about, like, Jesus, this is a long maintenance thing. I'm gonna say probably 6 hours. 6 hours to the first cinematic. Last year's Babby, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really fucking appreciate that. months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From time to time, as far as I know, Blizzard needs to clean up the database for performance. Downtime might not only be because of small patch. I mean, usually Blizzard cleans up their database at the launch of a new patch. So that would be one of the reasons why last week was such a long downtime for 9.1. Because part of that downtime is cleaning up the database and scrubbing the files and, you know, sort of making sure that everything is a little bit more optimized. I find it highly irregular that it would be new patch and then the week later another 4-hour maintenance cycle, right? Unless 9.1 broke a bunch of things that Blizzard needs time to fix, right? That's entirely possible. I mean, it is technically a content update because the new dungeon and a new raid is coming, right? So technically that, I guess, could be called new. Mona Violet, how you doing? Does it count as new content? Probably not, right? Ben Raging, how you doing, brother? No, it probably doesn't count as new content because it is just a dungeon and a new raid. So for the hardcore people, great. For everyone else, like myself, I mean, the new raid and the new dungeon means absolutely fuck all, right? I'm probably never gonna do them. I might try it on LFR eventually when LFR is available, and then I'm done, right? I'm not gonna go into normal, heroic, or mythic raiding. I might try the new dungeon once as well, just to see if there's any lore things that I can find in there. But for the most part, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna really go in there ever. Few items doing things they shouldn't, but it should take that long, I would think. Dungeon and raid should be in the file since last week. Blades, yeah. The dungeon and the raid, like I said, from a developer standpoint, the dungeon and the raid is already in the game. The only problem right now from a developer, or from a player perspective, they're not open yet, right? Nightshade, thanks for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, I would argue that it's strange at the very least. I don't really want to speculate on why the maintenance cycle is 4 hours, because it may just be something silly and stupid and nothing to do with anything that's going to affect us in the game. But it is interesting. I do not remember. I mean, the last time we had that long non-patch maintenance cycles was way back in the day. Like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the days of Wrath and TBC and even Vanilla, reset days could take fucking the whole day, right? A reset day could take very long. These days, it's just like, bam, done, dusted, right? You get the reset, things are unlocked, and you go. It might be that Blizzard is deciding to play it safe. They want to test things out, and they want to see how things go, right? Carkle, no, it's not a new camera. It is just a new app that I'm using with the camera. I'm still using the same camera that I've had for a very long time. The GoPro Hero 8. So I'm still using the GoPro. The only difference now is I'm running it through NVIDIA Broadcast, so that it looks better. At least I think it looks better. You guys can tell me if you disagree. You found anything interesting or little secret in Korthia? Romac, the only secret there is in Korthia is that it fucking sucks. That's the only secret in Korthia. I mean, there's sort of interesting relics. The problem is the relics, even their flavor text is very boring and bland. So the things that I've been hoping for to get in Korthia is probably going to come still. It's probably not out yet. So yeah. JC, how you doing, bro? I don't think it sucks. It's just a little small. Big Ronnie, it absolutely sucks. What's there to do in Korthia? Like 3 quests a day. That's not content. Like, that's nothing. And then the quests aren't even interesting. It's literally just go kill the same shit every single day. And running around killing rares and collecting treasures, that's not content. I'm sorry, that's not content, because you could go do that literally in every old raid, in every old zone as well. There's plenty of zones where you could do that. Nothing new. So no, Korthia did not live up to its name. This place was told, we were told that this is the city of secrets. The only secret seems to be that you're going to be bored half the fucking time there. Hopefully we won't be waiting 8 months again for 9.3. I mean, are you already at 9.3? I think you're jumping the gun there a little. Or expect more expansion of the zone later. Big Ronnie, the problem with that is that Blizzard has never done that. I've said this before, right? I have said this before with previous zones where I went, oh my god, Blizzard just need to build on this zone and it will be an amazing zone. They've never done that. As soon as something is released within Blizzard Entertainment, the World of Warcraft team moves the fuck on. Listen here, guys. Korthia was dead last week. The minute 9.1 went live, the people over at Blizzard forgot about Korthia. They moved on. They're now creating something brand new that will, in about 4, 5, 6, 7 months, kill Korthia. That's it. Blizzard does not develop their zones. They do not develop their game. They just bring new shit. Every patch nullifies the previous patch. Blizzard don't like the whole, let's build on this. Let's make this into something that's actually quite cool and fun. That's not the Ian way. The Ian way is all that work that you just did for the last 9 months. Well, fuck that. We're moving into a new direction now. Everything starts from scratch. New systems, new zone, new everything. We'll make the same mistakes we made in Korthia. Doesn't matter, right? So I wouldn't be holding my breath if I were you for Korthia having any sort of expansion. That's not the Blizzard way. They don't do expansion. It's actually quite funny that expansions are called expansions in World of Warcraft when really they're not expansions. They're new games. Expansion means that the story expands, right? The game expands. World of Warcraft expansions does not expand the game. Especially now with their new leveling process, it really doesn't expand the game, right? World of Warcraft expansion simply replaces. It's what they do. It's what they do best. That's just how it works. Guild the Howling Wolves, how you doing, bro? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Rhino's Den, how you doing? Nightshade, how you doing? Do you think Illidan is going to come back in next patch or this one? Not this one. Probably not next one. I think Illidan will show up at some point, but I don't know when, and I don't know where exactly Illidan will be showing up. So that I can't answer. Almost ready. Almost ready. I count my window to see if my Sylvanas has to die. Pizza is almost there. Lofi, how you doing, bro? Planning to amaze. True about leveling. You can just run mob dungeons from 10 to 50. Such content. Vrina, it's not just that, right? So, if you compare World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy expansions actually do expand the game, right? If you enter into a Final Fantasy, like whenever a new expansion comes out, it does not nullify anything in the previous expansions. So the whole game is built, the game is built as a whole to hold up over time. This is what Final Fantasy have done. So every expansion simply adds more content on top of already existing content. With World of Warcraft, every expansion replaces all previous content. I mean, when's the fucking last time you've been to any of the other, literally any of the other expansions for anything other than collecting a rare mount or something that you haven't gotten yet? The game isn't kept alive, right? The game exists completely in a bubble, and that's the end of it. That's the end of that discussion. The game is a bubble. That's it. Jonah, how you doing? Thank you for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate that. Which side would Illidan side with? I mean, he feels like he would like to take down the purpose or the whole order of everything. Like he wanted to fight against the Burning Legion. Well, he would almost inevitably side with Tyrande, right? I think that's why he's going to come in. He's going to come in to save Sylvanas or help save her. Shadow, I do apologize. It's not my intention to wake you up, but you do have to wake up. Lei Shin was so powerful, he used anima before we knew about it. He kept Rodden as a prisoner. His powers are absolute. Where's he now, though? Sabako, to answer your question, if Sylvanas will die today, I fucking hope so, because I'm sick of this, and after all her atrocities, she needs to pay, and I can't wait to piss on her fucking corpse, and if she doesn't die, I'm fucking unsubbing, because I'm sick of this bitch. King Julian, I have yet to find anyone that really highlights the atrocities that she's committed that hasn't been committed by literally everyone else. I'll wait. I'll wait. If you say that Sylvanas needs to pay for all of her atrocities, well then we have to start literally eradicating entire races on Azeroth for all of their atrocities as well. No one's been able to... No one. Literally no one. People are so fucking limited in their history. So limited in their sort of scope of what happened in World of Warcraft. Like, everyone just goes, oh my god, Sylvanas, she killed so many elves. No one remembers that Malfurion literally killed most likely, if not hundreds, tens of thousands of Night Elves. Malfurion, your sort of lord and savior as a Night Elf? Yeah. He is responsible for a genocide much bigger than what Sylvanas could ever have fucking done. Not once, but twice. The elves themselves massacred and absolutely fucking massacred the orcs. Orcs that did not know that they were trespassing, by the way. The elves did not give a fuck. They killed women, children, men, didn't matter to them. It didn't even have to be soldiers. These were just civilians trying to survive in a land that they did not know. The elves fucking massacred them. En masse. But no. We'll forget all that. Fuck that. We don't care about that. Just give us the Sylvanas one. Yeah, let her pay for all of her atrocities. In a time of war, she dares attack a capital city. What is war even? You can't attack someone's city. That's fucking evil, bro. It's war. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, in war, the whole point is to attack someone's city. And if you're stupid enough to have your capital literally next to Orgrimmar, you should expect to be attacked. Like, the fact that it took this long for someone to attack Tildrassil is actually the big fucking head scratcher. That's the big head scratcher, not the fact that Sylvanas did it, that it took so long. So no, I'm sorry. I don't see it as an atrocity. It's not an atrocity. It's war. Just kill the Alliance and we are fine for the Horde. The Night Elves in a jar. And this has nothing to do with Sylvanas' bias, by the way. This is nothing to do with Sylvanas' bias. This is literally just... that's the truth. It is 100% the truth. Mage Train back then, telling people that he has sacrificed. I mean, there's so many pieces of evidence of it. Jamanio, how you doing? I've not seen you stream in ages. How are you, Aku? Dutch, hi God. I am very well. Thank you very much for asking. How you doing, bro? And welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you. Every race is guilty of something. I really agree with you. I don't get how everyone can be a kill machine, but then it's okay. I mean, the problem is that everyone wants to go, yeah, well, we did bad things, but that was long ago, right? There's forgiveness for that. However, the thing that Sylvanas now did, there's no forgiveness for that. I mean, what's the minimum amount of time that one has to wait before you can now be forgiven for your atrocities? So the only atrocities that matter are the ones that happened right now. It's not about the ones that happened long ago when there was no war. Ask the Lord, how you doing? The Orcs weren't at war with the Night Elves. The Orcs were not at war with the Night Elves. The Orcs were trying to survive, fleeing for their lives from an alliance, humans, that were massacring them even after they surrendered. The Orcs surrendered. They fled into the mountains. The Alliance did not stop. They literally had search parties that they called kill groups who would find Orcish encampments and slaughter everyone inside of it. This is why the Orcs had to flee to Kalimdor. There, they just tried to settle. They weren't at war with anyone. They were just trying to find a home for themselves. And the Night Elves started slaughtering them. If you want to talk about atrocities, I would argue that that's far worse than the Horde burning a capital city at the time of war. Sandwich, thank you for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. In the WoW Cosmo map, have you noticed how the shells have domination chains, binding glyphs, and growing life vines wrapping around them? We've looked at those shells multiple times, and honestly, the Tire Fire, thank you for the first time chat, I have no idea where they come from. Like, fucking zero. What I do know, it must have something to do with the zoom out, right? So we have been told that there is a zoom. The map is zoomed in at the moment, the cosmological map. And there is something that happens once you zoom out of that map. There is something more that opens up for you. What that is, at the time, I think it was just put in to be cool. So I just want to be, like, if they just put it in there, I think, to show that it's sort of, it looks cool. But they might use it again to, implement it into future lore, if they really wanted to. Nemfiri, how you doing? Thank you for the follow, really appreciate that. Adrenaline New, thank you much for the follow, really appreciate that. JCX Core, what the fuck's going on, bro? What are you typing? But the Horde Alliance were at peace, though, and out of nowhere attacked the Night Elves. What peace, King Julian? What peace? There was never a formal peace signed between the Horde and the Alliance. Never. The Horde and the Alliance did what they have always done. Teamed up to fight one big bad. There was never peace between the Horde and the Alliance. This is another thing that I genuinely do not get. Why do people think there was peace? What the fuck? Peace? Where? Where was this peace thing signed? When was this peace treaty signed between the Horde and the Alliance? It was never signed. And need I remind you, King Julian, just to be very fucking clear here, the Alliance were the ones who blamed the Horde for the death of Varian. That's how little peace there was between the Horde and the Alliance. It's a rewrite of history. If you genuinely believe that there was peace between the Horde and the Alliance, you are rewriting history and calling me a fucking simp when your bias is the thing that's literally leading you down very weird roads with no backing of evidence anywhere. There's literally no evidence for anything that you just said in your entire fucking paragraph. Nothing. It can't be found in game. It's not there. But I'm the simp for simply following what the lore states, right? Sure. Okay. I mean, I don't mind the fact that I'm called a simp for Sylvanas. Why wouldn't you simp for Sylvanas? She's the most interesting character in World of Warcraft. Brizanami, thank you for stealing up. Really fucking appreciate that. 2 months in a row. Thank you for always. How you doing? Ceasefire is very different from peace. They literally put their war aside so they could fight someone else. That's not peace, right? That's just saying, well, we'll kill each other later. Right now, let's kill the Burning Legion, and then we'll slaughter each other again. And that's exactly what they did. I'm a sim for lore. Let's go. And for Sylvanas. Alliance always wanted to fight, same as Horde. Remember in SOO when we defeat Garrosh, they wanted to kill Horde leaders, even after we fought Garrosh together. That's exactly it, right? That's exactly the point. So the Horde and the Alliance teamed up to kill Garrosh. They finally defeat Garrosh, and the first thing they do after that is gear up for another war. What's Varian's words there? If you and your Horde act without honor again, we will destroy you. Them are fighting words, by the way. Them's not the words of peace. Them's not the words that the Dalai Lama would have fucking uttered, right? Them's the fighting words. Clinks, thank you for the what's up. Really fucking appreciate that. 8 months in a row. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Look, at the end of the day, obviously I make this far more animated than it actually has to be, because I'm not actually upset or angry. I genuinely just think a lot of people have very selective memories when it comes to basically confirming their bias, which isn't impossible, which isn't even something that I don't understand. Humans are incredibly good at confirming their own bias, right? That's what humans do. We have a bias, we want to believe something, and then we find whatever evidence we can to confirm the bias. Then fighting right then and there, it's at least an agreement to be at peace. Jesse, what are you talking about? An agreement to be at peace? No. It's literally a warning. You're literally telling me that if I fuck up again, you're gonna destroy me. That's not peace. Did you get a new camera? Such good quality today? It's not a new camera. It's just different software. So previously I used to... I had like this weird zoomed in thing on the camera because otherwise it's completely too far zoomed out. And I've got new software that I'm running the camera through that removes that. So that's sort of what this is at the moment, at least. Jesus, why so many people following today? I love you all, but it's a little bit overwhelming. Hojo, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am using OBS, yeah. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I'm glad that you guys enjoy the new, shall we say, camera quality. Very happy to hear that. Saint of Red, 80, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Higher quality screenshots, ready to meme. Yeah, I'm waiting for the memes. But it's a warning to keep the Horde in check so it doesn't happen again. It was a well-deserved warning. No, it wasn't. Garrosh did nothing wrong. Really, we were warned for being on our best behavior. Like, that warning was a fucking insult. If anything, the Horde were literally on our best behavior. Garrosh was doing everything that the Horde stands for, and we got warned because we were doing everything that the Horde stands for. I'm sorry, but that was not a good warning. That was a fucking insult. Maybe that's why Sylvanas decided to burn Teldrassil. She is still fucking salty about the warning. Currently doing my research of mechanics for Raid. I'm glad those days are behind me. Fuck my life, I'm glad those days are behind me. I don't have to do any research for the new Raid. Because I'm not going. Galloway's for Chief. Horde always help the Alliance, except we're not. Did you pre-order the Sylvanas book? Monoviolet, I can't pre-order books in South Africa. I can basically ask them to order the book for me the moment it goes live in the rest of the world. So the bookstores here get their books from the US. The problem is they can only order the book from the US once the book goes live in the US. So I have paid for the book. I've paid for all 3 books, but I'm waiting. I'm literally still waiting for my folk and fables, or what the fuck am I talking? Folklore, right? Fables and folklore for World of Warcraft. I'm still waiting for that book. It hasn't arrived yet. I have a digital version of the book, but I don't have the physical copy because it's not arrived in South Africa yet. Sylvanas is one of my favorite characters in most fiction, but I relate more to Anduin's outlook on life. I'm so excited for the next cinematic. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Cheers, Echo. Glad I catch the stream. Just rewatched your video about Sylvanas' choice. I've been wondering when Sylvanas wanted Anduin to join willingly, and when she said so, you favor life. Did she want him as a Death Knight? And why Anduin is dominated and not turned into DK? Is there a possibility that Death Knight can be created only on Azeroth Outland and not in Shadowlands? Errol, Anduin is still alive, therefore cannot be a Death Knight. If Anduin were to be killed, he would most likely be brought back as a Death Knight. There's no limitation, I believe, to where the jailer can create Death Knights. I think he can create them anywhere. The fact of the matter is they want Anduin to be alive, right? For what purpose, I don't know, right? What is? Sylvanas can't die. Lucky Penguin, how you doing? Think Sylvanas wants to be Anduin's mommy? Now that's just weird. Leo, no. Arthas... Okay, so first and foremost, if you played Warcraft 3, Arthas slowly but surely turned into death itself, right? The way that's handled in Warcraft 3, at least, is that Frostmourne was stealing parts of his soul with every kill, right? So every atrocity that Arthas committed, Frostmourne was taking more and more of his soul. So he eventually ended up with no soul. However, Arthas also cut out his own heart. So Arthas eventually were undead. The way they just did it with Arthas was Frostmourne feasting on his soul, eventually left him soulless, therefore undead. I wouldn't mind Sylvanas as my mommy. I don't think you're alone in that. When will the new cinematic be uploaded? WKF, God knows. At this point, it's up to Blizzard. Whenever they decrypt the files and we can actually see the files, we should be able to get the cinematic. I think everyone is waiting for that. That's why we're all here. This is the waiting room. Helping you guys kill a little bit of time just so that we can actually see the new cinematic. King Julian, I am well aware that I will never change your mind on it, nor do I actually want to change your mind on it. I mean, it would be nice if you could think about something like this objectively, but I'm not holding my breath because I've seen enough people that absolutely love a certain character or absolutely hate a certain character to know that objective thinking doesn't exist. It's not going to fucking happen in World of Warcraft. People are going to follow their own hearts and their own emotions, even though emotions are dog shit to make decisions on. This is a game and you are allowed to not, to follow your emotions. So I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to explain why you're wrong. If you continue to choose to be wrong, that's entirely your choice. I'm not even awake yet. Been non-stop refreshing all platforms constantly. I don't think refreshing it is going to make much of a difference. Not right now, anyways. I mean, I have WoW it open as well, and I'm literally doing the same thing. But I do think it's gonna be a while. Look, Blizzard literally said the. Wait, why is that gone? Why is the warning gone? What the fuck? Huh. Maybe the reset is going to be shorter than we hoped, or that we thought it's going to be. Rizard, you're not alone on that, by the way. I know in my community specifically, I know a ton of people. So I do these polls over on YouTube almost every single day. I have a different poll for something. So for me, so I get a good handle on where people are. And right now, close to the majority, it's literally 1 or 2% off, but very close to the majority of my players now, of my viewers, no longer play World of Warcraft. They simply watch my channel for lore. So most of my viewers haven't logged on for the last 6 months. And in that sort of sphere, the majority of those viewers that haven't played for 6 months is also not going to resub. Something like 40% of people have no interest in resubbing at all. They are just here for the lore. That's all they give a shit about. I mean, I don't mind that at all. Dreamshifter, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. So I don't mind the fact that people no longer play and they just care about the lore, because I do think the lore is at this point the only good part of the game. Raids is still amazing, don't get me wrong. Raids is amazing. The problem is just I don't raid, right? I don't have time for it, nor do I care for it. My reasons for not raiding is simple. I can't do sort of what we would call relaxed raiding. If I were to ever join a guild that wipes on normal bosses, I'd kill myself. If even heroic bosses, if you wipe on heroic bosses, I cannot be in that guild. I would flame everyone that fails on an heroic boss. It's too easy. It should not be fucking difficult. If people are failing on it, I can't be in that guild. So the only difficulty for me that I can actually partake in is Mythic. The problem with Mythic is it takes a lot of time, right? If I'm going to go Mythic raiding, I have to get back into spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day in World of Warcraft, optimizing my gear, optimizing my rotation, optimizing my consumables, my professions, everything so that I am in peak position to actually raid. See the new cinematic, but I don't want to be spoiled, so I want to do the raid before I see the cinematic. You see, I don't have that with World of Warcraft, King Julian. I mean, the whole point of World of Warcraft not being spoiled, it's like the developers don't even give a fuck about spoiling the story for people. So World of Warcraft's story isn't, for me, good enough to not be spoiled. The whole thing that's good about World of Warcraft for me is the speculation opportunities of the spoilers. So I want to be spoiled as quickly as possible so I can start speculating on those. But I understand that there are some people that genuinely want to see it as they do it. And that's perfectly fine as well. I'm just not like that. Heroic proc isn't real. Heroic is literally just prepping for the real Mythic progress. So back in the day, me and my guild used to do Heroic in a single evening. Like just one shot every boss and then we're done, right? And then we wait for next week so that we can finally get into Mythic. But yeah, I would not be able to be in a guild where people fail on Heroic. I'm not saying that everyone should be like me. Obviously not. I'm also older now. So maybe I'm so fucking... maybe I'm so bad nowadays that I wouldn't even be in a Mythic guild. That's entirely possible. I haven't raided for... End of Legion. It's the last time I actually entered a raid. So it's been a long time that I've not raided. I would probably still not be in a guild that wipes on normal or heroic. I would be, oh my fuck, I would be so annoyed. Non-WoW question, what job are you playing as primarily as you level in Final Fantasy? Runners, then I'm playing a Paladin right now. Mono Violet, how you doing? Where did you get the 3 posters behind you? They look so cool and I want one. Thank you very much, really appreciate that. It was made for me by Alex, my editor, and they are available on my shop if you really want to pick them up. It is Teespring. I don't know if I even have a panel. I don't take the shop very seriously. Every once in a while we fucking add something to it. But I don't put a whole lot of effort into oh yeah, Teespring is in the streamer links. Yeah, you can just click the link there and it should take you to the shop if you really want to purchase them. But yeah, I love them. I do want to do something different. I want to change the background at some point. But for now, I think they're good enough. Nico Spider, how you doing? Digit Mark, how you doing, brother? A level Dragoon to Heaven's Ward. Now I am messing with Astrologian. I like the card shuffling and buffs while also being able to weave between White Mage Regen aspect and Scholar Shield aspect. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. We're probably going to start doing Final Fantasy streams again. I think Thursday. So Thursday we'll probably get back into Final Fantasy stuff. And just for those of you that think you may have missed a lot of things, I haven't touched Heaven's Ward. I've literally just been leveling my Dark Knight. So I've not touched Heaven's Ward at all, right? So you're not going to miss any of the story. I'm literally... all I do is I go into leveling every single day. And I just do my single dungeon for the day. And then I move into... and then I just log off. So that's basically I've been keeping busy. You know, and I will do some duty relates with you. But I definitely will. Didn't know you were playing it. Oh, listen, So here's the funny thing about Final Fantasy for me. I was against Final Fantasy like you would not believe. I am not a weeb. I'm not into weeb stuff. I don't watch anime. I don't read manga or whatever the fuck it's called. Like I don't know anything about weeb culture whatsoever. So I always looked at Final Fantasy and I just went, nope, that's a big no for me. I can't play games like that. I don't like the style. I've never been a huge fan of Japanese games in general, just because the style really puts me off. And then chat actually started putting pressure on me. They wanted me to jump into... they really wanted me to jump into Final Fantasy. And I said, okay, what I'll do is I'll do Final Fantasy, and I'll do it for a first impressions video, right? So I will play Final Fantasy, and I'll do a first impressions video on it. And I still warned chat. I was like, but look, guys, I'm most likely going to be very critical of this game. And I want that to be clear. My first impression is not going to be kind to this game. I can already tell you I'm going to fucking hate it. It's not going to be a good game. And it was actually very boring for like the first 30 levels. And suddenly, the lore in that game just opened up to me, and I fell in love with it. I don't know. I can't explain it. I literally still hated the game. And then suddenly, I believe it was the story, like the first real in-depth story that I got from Manphilia, where we're sort of changing direction from just fighting the primals to the Garleans as well. That was the moment where I was like, oh my god, the story is so good though. And yeah, then it was just, from there, it was just like, oh my god, I like this game. And I've just been falling more and more in love with the game. As I've been playing it, I've been loving it more and more. So it's absolutely a game that I'm definitely going to jump into. Definitely. By the way, thank you very much for the follow. Mrs. Moken, to you. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Engal, thank you very much. And of course, Otak. Willow. Otaklo. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel to all of you. Novator, same to you. Thank you so much for following. Happy to have all of you here. Evanswood will change. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I just finished the last Primal, and I'm starting to get invested. That game just gets better. But everyone knows that Manphilia is Bay. I can give you a set of bunny ears. It's so kawaii. I don't want bunny ears. Thank you very much. I would prefer not having bunny ears. Thank you so much. I'm still not a weeb, though. I still won't watch any anime. And just for anyone that thinks that I'm insulting you, I use weeb for basically anything that isn't Western style MMOs. So I don't even use the word correctly. But it's not actually meant as an insult. Oh, Rothgar confirmed. How, Reinstein? Sophia, how you doing? Have you talked about Sylvanas yet? No, because we haven't seen anything about Sylvanas yet. We're still waiting for the cinematic, which may or may not happen soon-ish. I don't know. I am hopeful. I want to watch your Final Fantasy streams, but I don't want the story spoiled for me. Hilariously, I could care less about WoW spoilers, but I'm very much looking forward. I would say that if anyone spoiled the Final Fantasy story for me, I would legit be pissed. I would actually be fucking livid. And again, like I just said, World of Warcraft spoil me. Like, literally spoil me to death. I don't give a fuck. But the Final Fantasy story, holy shit, don't even start telling me about what's going to happen. I want to see it for myself. I want to be there because I'm involved in it. With World of Warcraft, you're not involved in the story. The story just sort of happens, so you may as well just see it whenever, right? Giovanni, you shouldn't fucking dare. I don't want to hear anything from you. Clockwork Angel, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sean Bean is the main... Ashian and Stormblood? Right. That means he's going to die. Sean Bean always dies. Tire Fire Cosmo map. Now that we have Alfirum, the Devout, discovering the fractals in Expedition Report, I find it funny that we have... Conj, literally shells that employ infinitely repeating patterns, aka fractals. It almost looks like we have inward fractals and outward fractals. So again, I think looking into the shells too closely is a mistake, because I don't think Blizzard have even decided what they wanted to do with the shells. As for whatever is in the report, I'm not entirely convinced that that's the whole answer. Right, the shells on the outside of the cosmology map. That's what we're talking about right now. I'm not entirely convinced that the report has the whole answer. So, for example, the new book that's coming out, right? Shadowlands, the Grimoire of the Shadowlands and Beyond, right? That's coming out later this month. That is a book by the brokers about the universe, right? And their view of the cosmology. The problem is it's going to be very limited because it is from the brokers and their limited view and limited research from the universe. So it's difficult to say that. So the fractal is simply something that he doesn't understand. That's how he describes it the whole time. He sees these fractals, and it's as if the fractals continuously change, and there's more of them. It's the infinite truth cycle, if you will, that he constantly sees. And all that means is he does not understand it yet, right? Seems like the brokers know more than anyone else about the universe. Yeah, because that's their entire thing. Cool story. The brokers care for nothing else but knowledge, right? That's all they trade in is information. Sour Pickles in the chat. Just chill, enjoy. This isn't so serious after all. Akko is just great lore teller. Give kudos for that. VTX, who's being sort of sour? John, thank you for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a feeling that 9.2 is going to be on Azeroth. From what I've seen, it seems a lot of people seem to forget that one of the jailer's first lines was "Death comes for the soul of your world." Well, Modern, you're not wrong. That's if we get a 9.2. No, we'll probably get a 9.2. It depends how they want to tell the story, right? Kind of came across a bit. Maybe just me. Oh, I didn't see that. Pink Cap, thank you for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vitiox, what you do need to understand about King Julian and me, we have, I would say, sort of an aggressive relationship to begin with. King Julian hates Sylvanas. I love Sylvanas, and we cannot see eye to eye because of that. At the end of the day, I really enjoy King Julian's commentary, and when he's negative, it's most likely just because he's trying to get some kind of reaction out of me. So I wouldn't mind when King Julian does something like that. It is mostly just aimed at me, and that's just how it fucking goes, right? That's just what me and King Julian do. We've been doing it for about 2 years now, so I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Akko, when do you think we're going to see Arthas again? Do you think it will be the end of this patch, or we won't see him till 9.2? That's a difficult question. Fuck. Arthas. I don't know. So I was sort of thinking that we would have seen him at the beginning of 9.1. I know a lot of people have sort of been hinting that we may see him somewhere today, that Arthas may actually show up at some point. So Blizzard made it clear that if they were to introduce Arthas, they would not be introducing Arthas as a sort of like side project, right? Arthas is too important to them to just be sort of a side story. The question, of course, then becomes, well, how long or how do you wish to incorporate Arthas? Because if he's not just meant to be a side story, then surely an entire patch needs to be dedicated to him, or he needs to be one of the big characters in a specific patch, which again, I'm not entirely sure how this would work. The other question, of course, becomes what kind of Arthas do we get? Is Arthas the prince that we knew before he became undead? Is Arthas the Death Knight that we saw on Azeroth? What Arthas is the Arthas that we see in the Shadowlands, right? All signs point to Arthas returning, though, right? I mean, Blizzard have set up the story for Arthas perfectly. So here's the thing. Uther's entire existence in the Shadowlands is literally predicated on Arthas showing his face at some point. You can't tell Uther's story without Arthas, right? Like, there's no way. There's no way. If you want Uther's story to make sense, Arthas has to be there at some point, right? Either forgiveness for what Arthas had done to him, or welcoming Arthas into Bastion, whatever the case might be, there needs to be some kind of forgiveness, right? Or some kind of retribution, or whatever the case might be. But yeah, Uther's storyline would not be there if Arthas' storyline wasn't planned for some, for some time in the future. I think we get a tease in 9.1 and finally see him in 9.2. I would love that. Arthas is actually my first, he was my first great love in World of Warcraft, and I don't mean romantic love, but the first part of the game that I fell in love with was Arthas' story. He might be used as a mirror for Sylvanas' redemption story. Oh my god, the redemption story is going to piss me off, I already know it. To be honest, I like to see a recap after Arthas was thrown into the Maw, and whereabouts in the Maw was the whole time, and what does Duval have plans for him? If Arthas is somewhere around in the Maw, or any other hidden Torghast places that's not known to us yet. Digit, I want the same thing. I want exactly the same thing as you do. Maybe one of the Kyrian teaching Uther is Arthas. Now that would be interesting. In all seriousness, no, I think it will be Paladin Arthas, as his soul was Frostmourne's first victim. Yeah, but a lot of the things that Arthas did was still Arthas, right? So Arthas wasn't the Death Knight Arthas the whole time he was doing things, right? Clockwork Angel, I want Van Cleef in Shadowlands. Van Cleef did nothing wrong. Oh my god, Edwin Van Cleef. Can you guys remember that? That's a long time ago. Arthas, before picking up Frostmourne, had already fallen. The trapped soul would be this arrogant guy. I think Arthas will be an instrument in redeeming Uther's choice, the way they have been going about this story. My biggest fear is that the story is going to be rushed. That is my biggest fear. Malifia, how afraid am I that they're going to ruin the Dark Lady's story? Ruin is a harsh word, because... So I always try to keep an open mind when it comes to World of Warcraft lore. The fact of the matter is, this is World of Warcraft, this is Blizzard's game, right? The writers write the game the way that they want to write it. The problem that World of Warcraft suffers from is that it has a ton of speculators that come up with different stories, right? And sometimes people latch onto those stories and they love those stories, and I'm guilty of that, right? I love the stories that I come up with in World of Warcraft, so much so that I am oftentimes quite upset whenever the story doesn't go the way that I wanted it to go. But with that said, it's not so much ruin if it's their story, right? It's just not the story that we planned on. Now, if you're asking whether or not they will kill Sylvanas, I genuinely doubt that. Killing Sylvanas would, I don't think, achieve much. The question is, how do they save Sylvanas? And that might ruin the story. Because I don't see how you save Sylvanas at this point. I don't see how they can kill her, but I also don't see how they can save her. I don't know how they're going to do it. It just will not compute. Does anyone know when we are getting the cinematic? Pinkcap, your guess is as good as mine. I'm hopeful that we'll get it sooner rather than later. But there's a world in which we only get it in about 5 hours from now, right? When the game goes live finally in the US. Speculations are often much complexer than the planned story. Blizzard always do it the Kiss way. But that's usually my problem with Blizzard. So that's one of my biggest issues with Blizzard. Blizzard have sort of changed the dynamic. They've got everything upside down. Story is not meant to be Kiss, right? Story is meant to be intricate, convoluted, difficult to follow, much threads, really pull you into the game, right? Really pull you into the story. Game design is meant to be Kiss. It's meant to be keep it simple, stupid, right? The problem with Blizzard is they've made their game design so complex, intricate, and difficult to follow, with their story design being Kiss. These things should have been... It's upside down. That's not how it's supposed to be. So I think you are correct. Blizzard is going to go the Kiss version with their lore, where it's just, you know, as simple as humanly possible. That's the story. And if the Loyalist campaign is anything to go by, and I'm sure that it is, but if the Loyalist campaign is anything to go by, Blizzard doesn't care whenever they offer us a story that is difficult to swallow. They just do it, and then they move the fuck on. She will live happily on his farm. Wild boy, go fuck yourself. That's not happening. Niara, how you doing? Watching you at work? Happy to have you here. So how many of you are watching me at work, and how many of you are at home? I have absolutely the same opinion. I just think they do it. So I agree with you, Blades. 100% agree with you. I'm starting to think Sylvanas will have similar story like Kerrigan from StarCraft 2. It's entirely possible. It is possible that Blizzard's just going to do a copy pasta of that story. And again, people will just have to fucking swallow it. At work, a big slacker. Well, I'm really glad that so many of you are watching me at work. I'm really glad. I mean, I feel sorry for your bosses because they're paying you to fucking chill. But at the end of the day, fuck them, right? Do you think they will push Odin's story? Yes. We'll definitely get a lot more of Odin, and I think Odin's story will persist in 9.2 as well. I don't think this is the last time we're seeing Odin. If I am correct, and I believe I am, Odin might be a boss before long, like an actual boss, not just a let's taste you kind of boss. You know. Is the raid out yet? Is Kai? No. I think someone said that maintenance is starting in an hour from now, and then the game's going to be offline for 4 hours while Blizzard hot fixes the game. That's a long time to be fucking off, though. I'm still worried. I don't know why the game is going to be offline for so long. It makes no sense to me, especially after last week. What if something happens and she is resurrected as a living high elf who has to face everything she's done? Okay, so the problem, Modern, with... so first and foremost, everything she's done is a pretty big argument, right? Or a pretty big claim. The problem with Sylvanas, if I am correct in the way Blizzard is going to take this story, they're going to go the split soul direction, right? So they're going to say that Sylvanas' soul was split, and that the part of Sylvanas that we see is the one with almost nothing in her, right? Like she's only got hatred, and that the other part is somewhere else. So if she were to be resurrected as a high elf, she would be reunited with that part of her that she lost when she was killed by Arthas. Blizzard is doing everything in their power to set this up as the future story. Like, everything in their power. The Winter Queen even goes so far as to call Sylvanas an empty soul, which means there's nothing in there. There's no anima, there's no depth. It's literally one-dimensional evil, hatred, that's it, right? So they're definitely gonna go that route. Now, if Sylvanas is finally reunited with her other half, the question becomes, would Ranger General Sylvanas disagree with anything that Banshee Sylvanas did? Chat, what are your thoughts? Ranger General would not have any regrets. You guys forget, the Ranger General Sylvanas was an incredible tactician, and oftentimes extremely arrogant and heartless. Ranger General Sylvanas did anything possible for victory, most of the time not caring. Ranger General Sylvanas was Pink Cap is correct, was ruthless as fuck. So I don't think Ranger General Sylvanas would actually despise the things that Sylvanas did. Even gotten her backstory yet? Falsmoke, whose backstory? The Ranger Generals. We have some of her backstory. I think she would have. I mean, if you look at why the tree was burned, right? It's war. It's a capital city that's way too close to Orgrimmar. It's the perfect. It's literally the perfect setting for a counterattack or an attack that Orgrimmar would not be able to defend. So, no, I think personally, I do think that the Tilra's seal would have fallen at some point. If it wasn't Sylvanas, it would have been a different war chief. I have a bigger question for all of you. Something unrelated to Sylvanas. Even though I know most of you just want to talk about Sylvanas today. Should the Horde have a war chief, or is this new sort of pussy council a good idea? We need a war chief. I agree with everyone that said the right thing. If you said council, obviously wrong. Wrong. If you said war chief, right. Completely right. Absolutely spot on the fucking money. The council is going to fall apart. I believe that's going to be one of the future stories. Probably one of the stories that we get in 10.0. We are going to get the story of how the council falls apart. The problem with the council is it does not work in the Horde. This is what so many people fail to understand. So the Horde isn't like the Alliance. The Horde isn't a unit. This is what so many people fail to see about the Horde. The Horde only comes together in times of war. Whenever it's peacetime for the Horde, the races keep to themselves. They don't really work together. They don't really do much together. Every race sort of does its own thing. Every leader can sort of do whatever they want. The war chief of the Horde doesn't actually have a say in how the individual races conduct themselves within within the Horde, right? The war chief is only the leader of the Horde at the time of war. Outside of that, the war chief is simply a title that keeps the Horde safe. The council requires that the Horde races work together, as you would have had, you know, in the Alliance. But that's anti what the Horde is. In Alliance, we have a council, sort of, and it's a fucking mess. So this is actually something that I've said a while ago now. It's probably a year ago at this point. But the Alliance council style is the reason nothing gets done in the Alliance. Because the Alliance continuously has this council style approach to making decisions, which you can see is falling apart, right? You can see it with Tyrande. You can see it with Gain. They're not happy with where the Alliance is going. They're not happy with the decisions that the Alliance keeps making. So at the end of the day, I do believe that both the Alliance and the Horde is going to lose this silly little fucking council thing. But you know what? I don't think Anduin should ever be the High King. Why not? Chrysander, thank you for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. So I personally hope that the next big storyline in World of Warcraft is civil war. Not factional war, civil war. So what I'm talking about is the Alliance and the Horde is not even focused on each other, because both sides have broken out into fucking civil war. Both sides are fighting it out within amongst themselves, trying to stop the other side from actually getting the upper hand. That is something that I want to see. So both the Alliance and the Horde is in dire straits. They can't even help each other because they're so involved in their own civil wars. That's something that I would want to see. I think we need to move away from the cosmological stuff, Digit. I think World of Warcraft is at a point now where if we keep on this cosmic scale, the average World of Warcraft player is going to lose their ability to follow the story. Because, look, not everyone is like us, right? Everyone that's in this chat is here because they care about the story. I don't think you would have clicked on my stream, and there's 247 of you, by the way, which is fucking insane. I do think this is one of the biggest natural streams we've ever had. Like, we've had no raids, no hosts. It's just a bunch of you fucking decided to click, so I really appreciate that. Welcome everyone that's new, that maybe has never been here before. Really appreciate you being here. But every one of you clicked on this because you care about the lore. This means that you can follow cosmological scale events, because you know the little ins and outs of what happens within World of Warcraft lore. You probably read up on it all the time. You watch YouTube videos on it all the time. You know, that's fucking amazing, and that's great, right? But now think about the average World of Warcraft player that doesn't have a fucking clue about half the shit that happens in World of Warcraft, right? What are they gonna do? Like, seriously, what are they gonna do, right? They're not gonna understand half the stuff that happens on a cosmic scale, and you risk losing them. You risk running them into the position where they genuinely do not understand what this story is about. They don't know how to follow it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to them. And that really is, to my mind, why World of Warcraft requires a sort of scale back. Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to inner conflict rather than conflict between the whole of the Alliance, because I think we can all agree Blizzard can't do those right. Right? I mean, if Blizzard announced tomorrow that we're getting another Horde v Alliance and expansion, how many of you are going to go, great idea, can't wait for this? Like, genuinely speaking, hands up. Who's going to go, fuck yeah, another Horde v Alliance expansion? It's going to be awesome. Yeah, most of you are just going, no thanks, don't want the fucking Horde v Alliance shit again. Thank you very much. By the way, whoever just wrote for the first time in chat, really appreciate you. And I don't know when the cinematic is going live. I was hoping it would already be live, but it seems Blizzard have some incredible maintenance plans, which is why I started the waiting room, so we can keep each other busy until such time that the cinematic finally rolls around. This was a proper Void expansion. So Blizzard can't do another Horde v Alliance expansion, but they can do a Civil War expansion, right? Killer Mars, that's an interesting position, right? The Great Reset in World of Warcraft. The problem with that is, how do you... So, to my mind, Blizzard have one of two options, right? You do a Great Reset. You do a Calamity level event like what you got in Final Fantasy, right? Lucius Babby, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Really appreciate that, Rhino Stain. You better say thank you to Lucius Babby. She literally just gave you a fucking sub, bro. So, Blizzard have two options here, from what I can tell at least. They can either implement some kind of time thing, right, where players can go back to the old world, where they can sort of collect old mounts and old tabards and things, which would be a very soft way of resetting the game. Or Blizzard go the really hard mode, right? The really hard mode, which would be basically hit the reset button on all of it. So the old world is completely gone. There's nothing left of it. Everything starts anew. I don't see how Blizzard goes that route. Because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be very fucking angry at not being able to go back to get their, you know, their mounts or their anything. Zetsu, thank you very much for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Dreadlords cause a civil war? Absolutely possible. So, by the way, the Dreadlord seems to have infiltrated everything. These fuckers are immaculate. They've even infiltrated the brokers in Korthia. God knows how long they've even been there, right? I mean, we could say they only just arrived, but I don't think so. I think that Dreadlord that we saw in Korthia, I think they've been there for an incredibly long time. And they've just been biding their time. They've been working with the other brokers, pretending to be one of them, until such time that things happen. So the big question is, where else is the Dreadlords right now? What else is the Dreadlords doing? Who else have they infiltrated? And suddenly I can see a lot of people going, Jaina's a Dreadlord? Are we talking about that again? Surely, because there's literally still people that believe that, 100%. They could build it into the story. Jailer wins everything, takes the sword of Silithus, reaches his goal, breaking the cycle, and due to the circle of life and death in the ancient nature, will recreate the world universe, and it started again. I'd love that. I would love World of Warcraft to hit an entire fucking reset. Next Final Fantasy is Endwalker. WoW may go end times with the Voidlord expansion, and then we get a new universe with Azeroth waking up. So, good theory there. The fact of the matter is that, yes, if you are going to do a great reset expansion, so you're going to do an expansion that resets the entire world, Voidlord makes 100% sense. Since Azeroth does have re-origination built into it, right? It's one of the fail-safes that the Titans built into Azeroth. They have the ability to reset the whole world just like that. So you have an expansion where the Void Lords finally reach Azeroth. They start attacking. They corrupt fucking everything. They bring back the days of the Black Empire. And in an attempt, like a final push, we decide to hit re-origination, right? We go into Ulduar, we make our way, and we originate it. Suddenly, everything is destroyed, and Azeroth starts anew, with us as champions, much like in Final Fantasy, being teleported into the new world, if you will, right? With current heroes, hitting reset is the only thing to do. All OGs are dead now, and these alive are boring. Okay, so name your favorite. Chat, everyone in chat. Name your favorite new character in World of Warcraft. So a character that's just been introduced, this expansion or the last, that you really enjoy as a character. Malachi, yes. I mean the map before the Sundering even, yes. What's interesting to me here is anti-heroes, right? Either bad guys or anti-heroes. Somebody is the perfect anti-hero, right? Kalia. For us, what the fuck are you talking about, Kalia? Kalia, to you, is the most interesting character that's been introduced in World of Warcraft? Really? Tell me more. I'd love to hear it. Why? Kalia is one of those useless characters that's been introduced. They had the ability to make her so cool, and instead she just fell flat. Like, I don't like her character at all. Another goody two-shoes alliance character. Who would have fucking thunk it, right? Who would have thunk? I get so this is actually the thing that pisses me off more than anything. The consistent alliance good guy narrative. It pisses me off to no fucking end. Because that's literally not how World of Warcraft was supposed to be. The whole point of World of Warcraft is there is no good or bad guys. There's only people. That's how Chris Mason wrote the story. The entire point of his story was that the Alliance do bad things. The Horde does bad things. They do good things and bad things. They're not anything. They're just factions. There's good and bad in both of them. However, the new story in World of Warcraft is the Alliance is the good guys. They never do anything bad. The Horde is the bad guys. They almost always do something bad, right? Which is just, why? Why are we in this? Like, what the fuck is this even? The Tyrande arc was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. King Julian, I would never go Alliance. Given the option, right? Given the option, I will almost always play the bad faction. Always, because it's more interesting. It's far more interesting to play with the Horde than it is to play with the Alliance, because all the Alliance do is they clean up the mess that the Horde leaves. We are the story. We push the story forward. The Alliance simply cleans up after us. So basically the Alliance is the janitors of World of Warcraft. They seem to write them into good guys, but it just makes them stagnant. The Horde gets written as dynamic, but its change always seems to be bad. Morny, I agree with you. 100% agree. Not gonna die because she's a human. At least we're not terrorists. Okay, are we... I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here. We're living in a magical world where the Alliance's history started yesterday, right? So prior to yesterday, there was no Alliance. The Alliance didn't exist. So yes, the Alliance are not terrorists at all. Just want to make sure that we are in this magical universe where the Alliance have no history whatsoever. Are you unaware of Jada trying to drown out Orgrimmar and Thrall convincing her not to? No, that didn't happen, Lucius Babby. I just said, according to Alliance players, there's no history, right? So the history for the Alliance, according to the Alliance, started maybe 48 hours ago, not even, right? Although selectively, sometimes they will go back to the past to grab a couple of characters from the past that they're really proud of. You know, but for the most part, anything that happened longer than 48 hours ago did not happen. Right? That's just how it works within the Alliance. So all of the things that the Alliance did wrong, all of the things that the Alliance did bad, doesn't matter at all. Right? Those things do not exist. The Alliance did not do that. All Alliance players just go finger in ears going la 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 as soon as you fucking talk about that, right? Did not happen. In fact, if you were to go look for the evidence, they'll probably take down Wikipedia and shit like that. Like, they'll literally start fucking DDoSing it and shit to get it off, just so that they don't have to look at that. However, the Horde's history, now that started at the birth of the Horde, right? As soon as the Horde were a thing, their history started, and no one must forget it, ever. Right? Do not forget that the Horde has a history. So, yeah. The Alliance have been infiltrated by the Light. I feel like the Alliance good thinking will really test it in the next expansion with Tyrallion, because this whole the Light is always right will not go over well with a lot of the Alliance. They'll find a way to make it the Horde's fault. Killer Mouse? No, actually. Do I like Sylvanas' character arc? Not at all. I think Blizzard have done a tremendous disservice to who Sylvanas is, who Sylvanas was, and who Sylvanas have always been. I feel like Blizzard really wanted to get Sylvanas somewhere, and they basically figured out how to get there the quickest, right? Her character arc doesn't make a lot of sense, by the way. So there's certain plot points within Sylvanas' character arc that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, no sense. You look at the things that she's done and you sort of go, well, when did that happen? Because there's literally conflicting moments in the lore where Sylvanas would never have done that. And now she's doing it, right? I don't like her character arc because I think because of Blizzard's lazy writing around this, and when I say lazy writing, what I mean is implementation, not the story. The story is amazing. The macro story in World of Warcraft has always been amazing. The biggest problem within World of Warcraft has always been the individual storytelling. Blizzard doesn't seem to know how to tell a good story. They know how to create a good story, but the telling thereof seems to be very rushed, very like, just get it out. There we go. Ship it. They'll fucking love it, right? Battle for Autumnweald is a very good example of how Blizzard cannot fucking tell a story to save their lives. Because if that felt like a battle, I'll suck my own cock, right? That was not a battle. That was just a series of busy work until you saw the cinematic, which was cool as fuck, but it was still not a battle, right? But that seems to be the thing that Blizzard does best. Ingal, thank you for the prime sub. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. So yeah, I genuinely don't. Mrs. Malkin, I have a Twitch noob question. Is following and subscribing to Aklon's channel two different things? Because I keep getting a little thing popping up telling me I have a free subscription ready. Mrs. Malkin, so on Twitch, following is like subscribing on YouTube, right? Subscribing on Twitch is where you pay money. Now, if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free, I believe that's how it works. I can't have Amazon Prime in South Africa, but I believe the way it works is if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free sub to any Twitch streamer that you want. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just part of your Prime payment. And then I get money for that. Like, I get a cut of the $5 that it's worth, because it's worth $5, and I get a cut of that, about 50%. So that's how it works. Killermas, thank you for the stealing something. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to the question that I was sort of answering. Sylvanas' storyline, to me, just... it fails to recognize the nuance of the character, if that makes sense. Malagas, thank you for the tier 1 sub, dude. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everyone that is currently subbing, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mr. Moken, or Mrs. Moken, Mr. Moken, Mr. Smoken, I don't know. Anyways, thank you very much for the prime sub. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it Mr. Smoken? I don't know. We have someone else that Mr. Sergeant Sparkles is another one of those where it could either be Mrs. or Mr. or I don't know, right? So Mr. Smokin, thank you very much for the prime sub. Really appreciate that. The Weed, thanks for the prime sub. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you guys have just triggered the Skamars train. I have set up the Skamars train in such a way that it will never trigger. And you guys have managed to trigger it. When I say you can't actually turn it off, but you can actually make it near impossible to trigger. So mine is actually built to be triggered by people that have like 1,000 viewers. So it's actually made to be triggered by much bigger channels than mine. Because I don't like the Skamars train. I feel like it incentivizes people to throw away money. So that's why I call it the Skamars train as well. But I want to thank you all for getting us to level 2 of the Skamars train. Anyways, I will use your money wisely. I'm gonna use your money to buy video games. Sorry, I just had to say that. Sophia, thank you so much for 5 gifted subs. Really appreciate that. Can we get some love in chat for Sophia? That is 10 gifted subs for the month so far. So I want to see you using your new emotes. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I could have pretended that I'm going to invest the money, you know, that I'm going to put some money away for my old age. Let's be fair. It's not going to happen, right? I'm just going to buy video games. That's it. Clockwork Angel, thank you for the sub. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Buy yourself a storm out? I will not. I will not. Like, if someone gave me $200... and it was explicitly for buying a store mount, I would refund the money. I would just give the money back. I'd be like, no, I'd rather not have the 200. Thank you very much. I will not buy shit from the fucking WoW store. Ferorius with the 10 community subs. Really fucking appreciate that. Can we get some love in chat for Ferorius? You guys are absolutely amazing. And I do think it's actually been... how many months has it been since last we've had a Skamars train? And you guys literally pump it up to level 5. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for the love. And just for everyone being part of the community, for all of you hanging out, I really appreciate you being here. It means the absolute world to me. It's wrong if the store Echo, I have nearly every store mount. It is absolutely disgusting. So basically, what you're asking for me is to pay $15 a month pay $60 for a new expansion, and then you're gonna have a fucking store where all the good mounts go? The mounts so the mounts that we get in game just gets different colors. You know, who gives a fuck about those? But the good mounts, the ones with the good animations, they go onto the store. So why the fuck am I paying $15 a month then? I mean, am I not paying for that mount? Is that mount not being designed with my money? Because if it is, then you're stealing from me. Because you're using my money to design something and then saying if I want the thing that I actually already fucking paid for, I have to pay you again? You can go suck a dick, bro. I will not. I fucking refuse to. No, the store mount is miserable, horrible, should not exist. The store should be removed from the game entirely. The store should not be in the game. I'm sorry. Let's just leave it. Let's not even fucking get into the conversation with the 6-month sub, because that gets even more heated. Basically, so just FYI, full disclosure, I am on the 6-month sub, but I'm a content creator. I need to be subbed to the game. I don't have a fucking choice. Zucchini, thank you so much for the 5 community subs. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, again, I want to see some spam of the emotes. There's literally like 20 of you that just got access to new fucking emotes. You better be spamming them. Every emote on this channel, by the way, is made by the community. So that's why you should be spamming it. It was made by you for you, really, in all honesty. So the problem that I have with the 6-month sub thing is, as a content creator, I don't have a choice. I believe that I must be subbed to the game if I am to make videos off of it. It's sort of my own principle thing. I can't justify not paying the company that I'm actually using their content for to make games on. But that's a principle thing. I don't have to do that, but I do it anyways. However, the 6-month sub is the biggest gamaz in World of Warcraft, because it incentivizes Blizzard to work on these hype cycles, right? Where at the beginning of a new patch, they release another 6-month sub, right? They get a shit ton of people to sub for 6 months, and then they can sort of just fucking coax. There doesn't need to be 6 months worth of content. No, fuck it. We'll do a week's worth of content at the most, because we've already gotten their money. We've already convinced them to give us their money. That's just, as far as I'm concerned, wrong. It's not how gaming is supposed to be. It's not how you build a community. It's not how you build trust with your community. If World of Warcraft actually had great patches that kept people busy for 6 months, I wouldn't be nearly as angry about the 6-month mount bullshit. I'm angry about it because they don't give us 6 months worth of content. They give us at the most like a month's worth of content. Actually, a week if you could play everything without the incredible time gating that Blizzard continuously fucking comes up with. But it's a week's worth of content that you end up with. But they've already made their money because someone paid for the fucking 6-month sub because they wanted the mount, right? That is my issue. Just give me, wait, why are you happy? I think I missed your message. We today received use permit for our house from the government office. Whoop, whoop. Congratulations, Ukimi. I want to see pictures. The Freak, thanks for the resub, dude. Really fucking appreciate it. 14 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you, brother. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Level 5 hype train reached at 190%. Thank you kindly to all of you for, chugging the little Skamars train forward. When will the thematic probably be out? Zazel, your guess is as good as mine. Quite frankly, your guess is as good as mine. I was hoping soon, right? I was really hoping soon, and it turns out not so much. Power Pig, thank you for the prime sub. Did really fucking appreciate that. 5 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It all depends on whenever Blizzard decrypts the files, right? That could be within the next 2-3 hours. Blizzard could try to do it a little bit earlier. Arnold, thank you so much for the 5 community subs. Really fucking appreciate that. And I ask again, can we get some emotes in chat to say thank you? Because, yeah, guys, if people give community subs, that is insane. That is amazing. What you should do then is spam some emotes to say thank you. Because they are taking their own money and putting it into the community to get more people access to emotes, to get more people the ability to enjoy the community. So I would thank you if you did that. Arnold, thank you so much for the 5 community subs. Did really appreciate that. When is the new raid out? That's going to be about 4 hours. So according to Blizzard themselves, right? If I go on to the WoW launcher here, we will be performing scheduled maintenance beginning on Tuesday, July 6, 8 a.m. And we expect the service to be available again at approximately 12 p.m. PDT. During this time, the game will be unavailable for play. So it is about 4 hours that the patch is going to take, which is insane, right? Wait, it's only 6:51 a.m. PDT now? Fuck, is time not moving? Oh, okay, 7:22. For a second there, I thought, Jesus, time's not going anywhere. We had 2 hours left when I started the stream. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. Like, the Twitch time works different than actual time. Twitch is in the Twisting Nether, confirmed. My computer was having a bitch fit, so I could hear the stream, but couldn't type. Jumanio, welcome back. It's because you're on an Apple. I've told you before, you need to get yourself a proper PC. You're in a pizza coma. Jesus, I haven't had pizza in a long time. It's been a while. Was supposed to be 6 hours, was 2 hours at max. True, Gribus, that's not true. Are you talking for EU or NA? Because NA's maintenance last week was fucking incredibly long. Remember, NA always gets the worst on launch days. Think I'll order pizza today. Trotter, nice. You know what I'm going to have today? Short rib. I'm going to have some short rib later today. I'm going to do sit-ups in hopes for some abs whilst I wait. Echo mounts on the store are technically free since you can buy them with in-game gold. I think I had a stroke. I think I just had a stroke from reading that sentence. This is what death feels like. I can actually feel it coming. It's right there. I'm on the verge. So let's examine the WoW token for a minute. Where does the WoW token come from? Quick question. Anyone in chat can answer this. Where does the WoW token come from? Real money. Real money being paid by whales. That's where the WoW token comes from. Blizzard does not foot the bill for you, right? WoW tokens are not just created out of thin air. It is whales that's spending thousands of dollars a month on World of Warcraft, buying up your WoW tokens so that you can use your real life money to actually purchase in-game mounts. Blizzard is making a fucking killing. It's not free. There's nothing free about it. Blizzard have just made the purchase of actual in-game money legal. But the fact of the matter is, Blizzard is not footing that bill for you. You're not getting one over on Blizzard. In fact, you're actually making Blizzard far more money. Because Blizzard have managed to get the WoW token to such a place where one is not enough. Right? In order to buy the mounts, you need two. Because the price is literally just more than one WoW token would be. So you need to buy two, which makes it even more profitable for them. Because now they can sit back and sort of go, well, fuck you, right? So, no. Sadly, I do not agree with the whole it's free bullshit. It's not free. In a long time that I remember that WoW token went up in price. I'm not okay, man. The anxiety is high today. Shadowfire, why? The freak, how you doing, brother? What do you think the potential that ANR is related to Elune and the Winter Queen? Any similarity with the Windrunners, if so, or Tyrande, Jaina, and Sylvanas? The trio of women seems an interesting thing they're doing. ANR, there's literally no evidence that ANR is related in any way, shape, or form, right? Literally no evidence of that. So I would argue that possibility is rather low. ANR seems to be from a completely different world, created for a completely different task. So yeah, I don't think so. I'm just nervous for her, given Blizzard's handling of her sometimes. Shadowfire, you and me both. I think the reason we have 285 people in the chat should explain how everyone feels at the moment about that. I think everyone is a little bit afraid of what's going to happen with Sylvanas. Show of hands. Who here is afraid of Sylvanas' upcoming story? Power Pig, how you doing, bro? Oh, everything is amazing, dude. I have 285 people just sort of fucking chilling here. I don't know. I don't know how I've suddenly become that interesting. And I do hope that I'm not boring the vast majority of you. If I am, of course, you can go watch someone else. I would not mind. But I do appreciate the fact that so many of you are here and just sort of chilling. Romac, I can't answer that. Can't fucking answer that. Going big in a good way. I feel like they will treat her like the Queen of Blades. Sylvanas will set us free. Silver will thank him for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate that. Set us all free. Everyone going against her will regret it. I would love that. I wish Blizzard would actually do that. I don't think they will. But I would absolutely adore if Blizzard were to do that. Like, so I want Blizzard to give us the ability to go against the Shadowlands. Because I don't trust the Shadowlands at all. There's not a part of me that likes the Shadowlands. Always had great content. I'm very happy for you. The work you put in shows. Powerbake, thanks very much. I'd really appreciate that. If she does die, who do you think will land the killing blow? Shardy, how you doing, bro? That's a long time to be watching the content. I really appreciate that, dude. I remember the Warlock guides fondly. I can't answer who's going to land the killing bro. I don't know. Probably Jaina or someone like Jaina, probably. The reason I don't think Sylvanas is going to die, so the reason I think we're safe and we don't have to worry too much about Jaina dying, Sylvanas dying, is because of Patty Matson. So Patty Matson has been with Blizzard for decades, just FYI. She's been there for a very long time. The idea that Blizzard just goes and kills off the character that she voices, very much implausible. I genuinely don't see that happening. I don't think it's going to happen. And with you, Aklon, I want to burn the Shadowlands down. The Eternal Ones are some shady mofos. 100% agree, Mr. Smoken. 100% agree. So the Shadowlands to me is against everything I believe in. Everything that I believe in, which is, so my personal ideology is absolute freedom, right? I don't like anyone making decisions for me. I don't trust centralized systems of power. I hate everything that the Shadowlands stands for. Everything. So the fact that I'm sort of serving the Shadowlands really pisses me off in World of Warcraft. Maybe Jailer will land the killing blow because he finds out that she is not agreeing with him 100%. Barbie, but no. No. Not the Jailer. That's just not... I don't think she is working with him, just to be clear. I think Sylvanas is playing a game where he is also a pawn in that game for her, but I don't think he's going to figure that out. He clearly doesn't care enough. The Jailer seems very much disinterested in mortals. He doesn't see us as worthy of his time. She can die and go to Shadowlands. The fact is she's dying in the Shadowlands. If you die in the Shadowlands, do you go to the Shadowlands? Maybe not. According to Blizzard, you die, you die. His hubris will be his downfall. The Jailer is too cocky. I mean, that's another problem within World of Warcraft, right? That is every single villain in World of Warcraft. Actually, that's not just WoW. That is every single villain in every single king game and world. Like, they're always so cocky, dude. And then it's the cockiness that fucks them. And it's like, bro, because you can see it. There's this cinematic, right, where it's a very short cinematic. It was during the PTR, so there was literally nothing there yet. But the cinematic where sort of all of the mortal champions, the NPCs, Jaina and Thrall and everyone is sort of screaming at the Jailer, telling him, we'll take you down, we'll fuck you up, we're gonna punch you in the balls, bro. Like, they're all very angry, and what does the Jailer do? Nothing. He doesn't even look at them. Like, he does not even look at them. He just walks the fuck off. Like, I mean, that is some next level shit, right? I have a new Twitch. Tivet, how you doing? By the way, there was a person yesterday when I stream. We found out both watching your streams on YouTube was amazing. Happy to hear that, Tivet. How you doing? I like putting James Bond on a slow conveyor belt of death and leaving. Fear gonna summon an army of wisps again and blows Sylvanas up. Even in DBZ, the evil cocky villains end up getting fucked in the end. Just once. So I'm gonna ask everyone in chat. How many of you want us to lose? Jungle John, not yet, no. We're still eagerly waiting. See, there's a lot of people that want us to lose. So when I say lose, I mean every expansion we quote unquote win, right? We get what we want. What we went for, we get. We can argue about the nuances of that win, because I would actually argue we've been losing the whole time, even though we don't realize that we've been losing. But it feels like we're winning. But for once, I want us to really fucking lose. Like, I mean, the big bad wins, they do whatever the hell they want, and we are left dealing with the aftermath of our own failure. That's what I want to see. An expansion where we actually get our asses handed to us. So we go into this fight with the Jailer right at the end, right? Last patch of the expansion, last raid of the expansion. We go into this fight, we get the Jailer down to 10%, and then he just fucking massacres us. Like, he is busy destroying us, so much so that they have to whisk us out there. Like, they have to get us out. And as we're going out now, he just starts ruining everything. He burns down Ouroboros, strikes down the Arbiter, destroys all of the other Eternal ones, and now we sort of have to figure out how do we deal with this big bad darkness that's now come to the world, right? That would be killer end of the expansion. See, Killer Mouse, I don't want a quick resolution to this, right? What I want is for the Jailer to become the next Sargeras. What do I mean by that? Ever since Vanilla, really, Actually, maybe a little bit after Vanilla. Vanilla, it wasn't as well established. So ever since TBC, Sargeras has been the big bad of the World of Warcraft expansion, right? We've had smaller issues with smaller characters, but Sargeras was the big bad. He was the guy that everyone was fucking scared of. I think we need another Sargeras-style villain in World of Warcraft. And I think Zuvul would be the perfect Sargeras-size villain, right? The jailer to be right, and we have to deal with that. The jailer kills us, then out of nowhere, Ashbringer Man descends from the sky as a Kyrian and slashes Zuvul's head off. No, that's not gonna happen. Here's what happens. They do a Kata 2.0 and unite Horde and Alliance, but now you can join the new Horde Alliance or the jailer. Greedy Mogwai, so while I would love that, I have always been a huge supporter of the destruction of the Horde and the Alliance as they exist right now. Unlike most other people, though, I do not believe that World of Warcraft should be factionless. I do think that factions in World of Warcraft should exist. The problem with factions in World of Warcraft is Blizzard fucked them, right? Blizzard's endless sort of, let's stand together to beat the next big bad. And then we go back to a faction war. But then we are friends again because we need to defeat another big bad. It's now led to the place where most players go, why am I even fighting the Horde or the Alliance? Like, this makes no sense. I don't understand why I'm here, right? What I want is a new faction. 2 new factions. Factions that 100% represent ideological differences. So in other words, you join the Sylvanas Zuvul faction, right? That wishes to bring an end to all of the systems and fight this cosmological war. Or you join the new Horde v Alliance or the new Horde and Alliance faction. And that faction actually wants to save the universe, right? And I think that could be some very interesting storytelling. I do believe that that could be incredible storytelling. Errol, how can you not see it? Do you think the crystal the jailer uses to shape Shalamon is Nathanos' soul? So, we've actually argued on the Shill Show about this. Dragonwolf, thanks for the tier 2 sub. Did really fucking appreciate it. 7 months in a row. Thank you. Dragonwolf, how you doing, brother? We've actually talked about this on the Shill Show on Sunday night. There's 2 souls that it could be. Soul Uno is Nathanos. Is it Dos? I think that's what 2 is, right? Soul Dos is Saurfang. It could be Saurfang. I think the soul in Shalamon is Nathanos. Arthas or Sylvanas. Arthas, I don't think. But I do think there's an argument to be made for both Nathanos and Saurfang that would be extremely impactful to the story. So here's why I think that. You need something to sort of change the direction of Sylvanas, right? Of her story. The only way I think you can actually do that specifically is if you introduce a soul that Sylvanas would not have been happy with. If Sylvanas finds out that Nathanos is in that play, do you think she's going to continue to... do you think she is going to continue to follow the jailer if she found out that Nathanos' soul was in that blade? Arizona, how you doing? I wouldn't say that that's probably an unpopular opinion in this chat. So in this chat, I have people that loathe Sylvanas and I have people that love Sylvanas. So I would say it's a 50-50 one. She would be very fucking angry. But I would posit exactly the same thing for Saurfang. A lot of people seem to think that Sylvanas hated Saurfang. Sylvanas did not hate Saurfang. Not even close. Sylvanas gave Saurfang exactly what he wanted. He wanted an honorable death. That's all he wanted. was that honorable death, and she gave it to him. She provided him with the honorable death that he had sought. As if all break through the veil to Azeroth, the Shadowlands will be broken too. The souls will at last go to where they truly belong, death. So the wolf, that's what I'm literally hoping for. She literally tells him, I trusted you, with pain in her voice. Truth. Thanks for the sub. I was lurking and didn't see it. Bad Mondays, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the fucking, welcome to the Fat Fuckers community. Really happy to have you here, bro. At first I was like, nah, not Nathanos, but the loyalty and devotion he had for Sylvanas put into a blade that helps control Anduin. It's sort of poetic, isn't it? It is sort of poetic. She even let him go out a hero by standing up to her and fighting back. Exactly. Silver Wolf, thank you much for the follows. With Salty, Orib, thank you much for the follow to all of you. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I genuinely can't browse WoW Reddit anymore. It's all posts about hating on Sylvanas with the same circle jerk arguments. Zanria, I still browse it though, because there's some interesting topics sometimes that pops up there, but you are right. It's become quite the Sylvanas hate train. And it seems like everyone joins it. Sylvanas hates hope, but why does she hate hope? Why does Sylvanas hate hope? Does anyone have a reasonable answer for that? Why is hope such a huge issue for her? I don't think it's the feeling left in her. Not at all. She had hers taken because she still has hope. I don't agree with that. Because hers was turned against her. So I'm not saying I'm correct, but there is no hope. That's why she hates it. There is no hope. Sylvanas actually tells Sourfang this. She explains to Sourfang why he is a moron for wanting to die an honorable death. She tells him there is no honor in death. You think you're going to get something, you're not going to get anything. Because she has seen the other side. She knows what it looks like. This is why Sylvanas hates the living and hates hope. Because there's hope that you'll eventually die with honor. The fact of the matter is, after you die, you immediately get fucked right back into servitude for all eternity by beings that you have no hope in ever actually overthrowing, right? Or yes, that's not her perspective. I mean, it is the truth, regardless of your feelings around it. And I'm sure there's people that feel very safe knowing that the Shadowlands functions the way that it does. Because there are people who, they don't give a fuck about freedom as long as they're safe, right? So they'll give up all of their freedoms as long as they're safe. So regardless of, you cannot tell me that the Shadowlands isn't a place of servitude. It 100% is. You are a slave of the Shadowlands. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to hate the fact that you're a slave, although I do, and I wouldn't want to be. But you can't say that the Shadowlands is the height of fucking freedom. Can you? I want to watch that cinematic again. I really want to watch the cinematic again where Sylvanas kills Sourfang. Jelly Kisses, thank you so much for the prime sub. Really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you guys want to watch the cinematic where Sylvanas kills Sourfang again? I think we should watch it. I think it's time. Since Blizzard won't give us any other good cinematics, we might as well, you know, watch our own good cinematics while we wait for Blizzard to give us actually new cinematics, right? So here's actually a bigger question for all of you. What if the cinematic that is currently hidden from us, that we haven't been able to see, what if that cinematic is CGI? The one we've all been waiting for. We've all been complaining that we haven't seen any CGI cinematic so far. What if the cinematic that Blizzard is keeping completely hidden, we haven't been able to see it, it's opening today, what if that is the CGI cinematic we've all been waiting for? The defeat of Sylvanas ends with a culmination of a CGI cinematic. How fucking cool would that be? All right. Hold up. Whoa, thank you so much, Steve 8, for the $5.
Have a nice day,
Really appreciate the $5, dude. Really, thank you so much for that. To everyone that's been supporting the channel today, you guys are far too fucking kind. Far too kind. All right, there we go. I've got the cinematic up and running. Stop the music. And then we'll set the browser a bit lower. All right, here we go. Lucky Penguin, I wouldn't be allowed to do that due to copyright issues. If I were to read the Folk and Fairy Tales book on here, I'd be, yeah, that would not help. King Julian, where do you get your information? Holby, thank you for the tier 1 sub, dude. Really fucking appreciate that. 11 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where do you get your information from? Using magic in the Makura is not cheating. You were watching the Warcraft movie as if it was canon, right? When you watched the Warcraft movie, did you think that this was canonical lore? Because it really isn't. Using magic in a Makura is not banished. It's not cheating. You are absolutely allowed to use that. The rules of Makura was changed, I believe, in TBC. Prior to TBC, yes, Makura was hand-to-hand combat because it was only by the orcs. And then they finally realized, hold up, what about mages? What about warlocks? Things that don't have the ability to hand-to-hand combat a fucking warrior. And they said, okay, wait, we'll change the rules of Makura. So now everything goes. The only rule in Makura, is you are not allowed to use borrowed power. So you can't use anyone else. No one else can sort of step in and fight on your behalf. So if Sylvanas and Saurfang were fighting here and one of the undead shot an arrow into Saurfang, that would have been cheating. No one else may interfere in a Makura. That does not mean that magic can't be used. If it's you using the magic, you're perfectly allowed to do so, right? A popular misconception among the fan base is that Thrall cheated in his final Makura against Garrosh when he used elemental magic. However, there's never been any rule forbidding the use of magic and spells. Moreover, there is a precedent for the use of magic in Makura, as both Shigara and Ashra made extensive use of it during their Makura. Exactly. ETX, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I did really fucking appreciate that. Welcome to the Fat Fuckers Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Varrock, it's time.
Those who defend Orgrimmar are Horde as well. Our brothers and sisters.
These warriors have sworn to fight. For you.
Oh my
Many
god.
lives will be lost.
Or perhaps just one. Sylvanas Windrunner! I challenge!
Such cool.
Makora!
Such cool, bro! Tell me when you saw this the first time you didn't get goosebumps. Like, fucking I dare ya. The very first time he yells, I challenge Makora, you didn't get goosebumps. Like, I will call you a liar if you say you didn't.
A traitor leading traitors. Why should I accept your challenge?
You want to make me suffer.
Shit, bro.
You cannot win.
My old friend. You and I.
We don't get to hide.
I set you on this path.
And we knew where it could lead. Walk with me. The rest of the way.
Yeah, effing chat for Salfang. Such well done, dude. Oh my god. I love this cinematic so much, man.
Let it be finished.
The High Overlord falls. I trusted you. And so did they. Death comes, old soldier. And all their hope dies with you.
You cannot kill hope. You tried at Teldrassil. You failed. Hope remains. You set us to kill each other at Lordaeron. You failed. Here we stand.
So I still maintain, sorry to sort of fall in your, but look at Sylvanas' face when he says, you tried to set us upon each other at Lordaeron. You failed. Her facial expression changes from one that was sort of smiling and taunting him to almost one that of either anger or sort of questioning. That's not what I wanted to do. Like, you completely misunderstood what I was trying to do there. I'm not entirely sure, but there is a change in the facial expression, which I've still not been able to place. That's why I'm mentioning this here. I still haven't been able to figure out what that facial expression, the change in it, actually means. Wild Wyvern, thanks for the Prime sub, dude. Really fucking appreciate that. 2 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hope remains. You set us to kill each other at Lordaeron. You failed. Here we stand.
You guys see that?
You just keep failing. The Horde will endure. The Horde is strong.
The Horde is nothing! You are all nothing!
For Azeroth!
If you could see yourselves as I see you. Toy soldiers in tin plate. Beasts who howl for honor. Standing as one. Savor it. Nothing lasts.
Fuck. Fuck, bro.
Just need to tip again because you are awesome, man. Big up from Sweden.
Steven, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What do we do now?
His soul was completely ripped out of his body. Dude, we need another CGI cinematic. Holy fuck, we need another CGI cinematic. Like, the weight is killing me. The weight is killing me. Mortal, thank you for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate that. We don't know. That's why we're in the waiting room. Believe me, we are all waiting for the exact same thing. We want to know just as badly as you do when the new cinematic is actually going to hit. Sadly, yeah, it is whenever Blizzard decides now's the time, right? If you'll get one, a bit surprised since CGI was so prominent in BFA. Crashy Pop, so one of the reasons I think CGI has been basically, it's ground to an entire halt is because of COVID, right? That's actually one of the few things that I'm willing to accept COVID as the reason for. CGI cinematics are very difficult to make. They require people to be on set and they're very expensive. So with a full-blown CGI cinematic, you can't afford to have 111 inside the studio, right? Because they're expensive. They're stupidly expensive. So you want to do 3 or 4 or 5 people inside the studio at a time, sort of running the cinematic so that you cut down on costs. The problem is if you are, if you're in COVID situation within California, which was one of the worst places during the lockdowns, that was illegal. You couldn't do that. So what would have happened there is they would have had to bring every actor in one by one to play their scene and map the scene and make sure that the CGI works for it. And this would absolutely have meant that those cinematics would just not have been cost effective whatsoever. So that's actually why I think they decided not to go with CGI and rather to do just the normal in-game-esque cinematics. Lucky Penguin, no. So first and foremost, Hearthstone has nothing to do with the canonical lore of World of Warcraft, right? So Hearthstone, don't ever look at Hearthstone for World of Warcraft lore. This has been said multiple times by the devs as well. Hearthstone is set in the World of Warcraft universe, but it has its own lore that is completely sort of separate from the World of Warcraft lore. So no, I don't believe that you should look at that at all. It's clear that Yoxaron has nothing to do with this. Whatever Sylvanas is up to, she has a plan that's seemingly bigger than everyone else. Can't wait for Blizz to start using Unreal 5 MetaHuman. No more need for continued human CGIs. Will be insane for all companies, really. Draconian, I mean, how far is that technology from perfection, though? Who here thinks Sylvanas looks better in the in-game cinematics compared to the CGI ones? Blazing Star, I cannot agree with that. Sylvanas, in this last cinematic that we just watched, she looks absolutely fucking fantastic. They are immune. That's why the Void Lord screamed at Illyria to kill Sylvanas. Yeah, plus there's very little evidence that the undead can actually be controlled by the old gods. The old gods definitely have an effect on them, but it's not the same as mortals. You have a good computer to run. WoW has always been graphically fixable. So here's the thing. I don't want World of Warcraft to ever be on the Unreal Engine, on any Unreal Engine. I don't want World of Warcraft to have better graphics, as people like to say. I like WoW's graphics. I think WoW looks absolutely fantastic. The World of Warcraft, and this, by the way, I have spoken to a World of Warcraft veteran developer, right? So someone that's been with the company for a very long time, Terran Gregory. You all know that he pops into Sunday night streams often, right? I've spoken to Terran about this. World of Warcraft's graphics is not an accident. It's not a limitation on the system. In fact, the WoW engine can make far better graphics. World of Warcraft's graphics is a choice. It's a choice that they themselves made. It's what they wanted for it. Another cool thing that very few people actually know, you know that World of Warcraft, all movement in World of Warcraft is mapped. It's not motion captured. They don't use mocap at all in World of Warcraft movement. Your character's movement was physically drawn and created by the art team. They made the movement the way that it is. They did it so that they could keep that cartoony art style, the very physical style that is World of Warcraft. Whereas compare this to, I would say, almost every other game, right? ESO is a good example of this. Almost every character in ESO runs exactly the same, moves exactly the same, because they use mocap to do it in, right? Whereas, like I said, in World of Warcraft, it's all animated. It's part of their style. It's what they like doing. And I love that about WoW. WoW's art style give a certain charm. If it were Unreal Engine, I think if it was Unreal Engine, so there's a couple of reasons why Unreal Engine would not work. Frey, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. There's a couple of reasons why that wouldn't work. First and foremost, if your graphics is too realistic, the shelf life of your game diminishes by, it basically diminishes by at least a decade.
You look like you've lost some weight. That's terrible. Have a dumpling.
Support your local Akaloon 1337.
TV, thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you have high fidelity, proper sort of graphics, right? So we're talking Elder Scrolls Online, Witcher 3, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, things like that kind of graphics. Your game's life cycle is about 2 years. If you go back and you play any old game, you can see how quickly games lose their sort of charm, right? How quickly modern realistic graphics go out of style. And you look at them and you go, oh my God, that I remember it looking better, right? That's the problem with realistic styles. With a game like World of Warcraft, the reason you can still go back to vanilla and it looks still fucking cool is because of that sort of art style that they use, the more animated, stylistic, right? It's a stylized game. It's a stylized art form. It just means that the game will basically never go out of whack or out of focus. The game will always be very good. Spaghetti Factory, thank you for the follow. Really fucking appreciate that. I mean, Fortnite looks better and it's cartoonish and not photorealistic. There's room for an upgrade that doesn't change the style. Parascopic, but Fortnite is a very different game. And we are talking about stylized, right? How does your camera follow your head? It's the new software I'm running, NVIDIA Broadcast. So if I move up or down, the camera is going to move around with me if I do it for long enough, because it's focusing on my camera. It's also the thing that's sort of blurring the background a little. I can blur the background even more, but, you know, I don't want to do that. I like the level of blur that it is on now. But it is with if you have an RTX graphics card, you just download NVIDIA Broadcast and you use that as the source in OBS, and it sort of makes your camera look better. on my power out, they were supposed to come tomorrow. I dislike being caught off guard. Wait, I would be fucking livid. I would be absolutely livid. Blazing Star, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I think the new... I personally prefer the new camera. I think it looks far more crisp. It's not as dark and sort of unfocused as the previous one, so I definitely like this. Doesn't it also allow you to green screen without using one? Yes, it does. But the green screen does not look good. So I don't have the right lighting setup for a green screen. I can try and show you. Hopefully it doesn't break. Hopefully it doesn't break the stream. But here's background removal, right? Can you see it does not look... it doesn't look right. Yeah? This doesn't look perfect. So I could do this, but I would need more lights. I would need a light at the back, right? So I would definitely need a light at the back that could highlight the back of my head. That way the camera and the software has the ability to distinguish between background and, you know, the... Also, I would have to wear... Yeah, I would have to wear clothing that doesn't blend into the background at all. But I could do background removal if I wanted to. You can even do